of Taiwan. I'm Liao with news from here in Taiwan and around the world. New details are emerging about the alleged shooter in an apparent assassination attempt on U.S. Republican presidential candidate Donald Trump. The suspect was reportedly a staunch supporter of Ukraine and Taiwan. Joyce Zheng reports.
Investigations are underway into this man, 58-year-old Ryan Routh, who allegedly staged an assassination attempt targeting U.S. Republican presidential candidate Donald Trump. Routh was supposedly lying in the bushes with an AK-47 style assault rifle, coming just a few hundred yards away from the former president while he was golfing in Florida. Routh fired no shots before being found and detained. Now, new details about his motivations. A former Trump supporter with a long digital trail and strong views on U.S. geopolitical ties.
We're going through media reports and public statements he made that he wanted to recruit Afghan soldiers and others to fight for Ukraine.
The suspect denounced Trump on social media and in a self-published book for his failure to support Ukraine against Russia's invasion. Routh was also vocal about boosting Taiwan's defenses against China. He's listed on this website named Taiwan Foreign Legion as the main contact for international volunteers, an unofficial group that claims to recruit fighters for Taiwan in the event of a war with China, akin to Routh's proclaimed mission to support Kyiv.
You know, we need thousands and thousands and thousands of people here fighting with the Ukrainians.
Taiwan's defense ministry declined to comment on Routh and the pro-Taiwan website. Meanwhile, with less than 50 days to go until the presidential election, security is a top concern. This is the second apparent attempt to assassinate Trump. 2 months ago, a gunman opened fire at a Pennsylvania rally, hitting the Republican candidate in the ear, the security failure prompting a leadership reshuffle in the U.S. Secret Service.
We need to get out of a reactive model and get to a readiness model. There could be another geopolitical event that could put the United States into a kinetic conflict.
Choosing to politicize the alleged shooting attempt, Trump's running mate, J.D. Vance, hit out at their Democrat counterparts.
No one has tried to kill Kamala Harris in the last couple of months, and 2 people now have tried to kill Donald Trump in the last couple of months. I'd say that's pretty strong evidence that the left needs to tone down the rhetoric.
Both U.S. President Joe Biden and Democratic presidential nominee Kamala Harris have condemned the latest reported attempt on Trump's life, saying there is no place for political violence in the United States, a country that has positioned itself as a beacon of democracy, now worried about having not just free and fair elections, but a safe one. Klein Wong and Joyce Zheng for TaiwanPlus.
Taiwan's military has confirmed a maintenance deal for U.S.-made aircraft parts worth $228 million. Taiwan will send parts to the U.S. to be repaired and refurbished, then returned. It's the 16th arms sale under the Biden administration, with many sales aimed at maintaining and supporting Taiwan's current fleet of aircraft. For more on this, Jaime Okan spoke to Kelly Grieco, a security analyst with the Stimson Center in Washington, D.C.
Kelly, this latest arms sale is about $228 million worth of spare parts and maintenance. It's not the biggest sale in terms of value, but how important are these parts for Taiwan's military?
I mean, it is actually very important in the sense of sustaining your ability to use these aircraft. The F16 is an older aircraft, particularly for Taiwan. But what we've seen is that we've been able to really extend the life of these kinds of airframes. And the way you do that is with regular maintenance and the ability to have parts that you're able to replenish, right? You can replenish parts as needed, and then you're able to really sustain the life of these aircraft. I mean, you just look at the United States with how long it's been flying some B-52s, for example.
Now, Taiwan has been trying to boost its defense against China, buying fighter jets from the U.S. like F-16s. But when you look at the way that Taiwan's Air Force is structured right now, is it in a good position to protect its skies?
No, I mean, I don't think Taiwan is in a good position in terms of air power, in terms of its existing investments. When you look at Taiwan's fundamental problem, it is that it is going to always be at a disadvantage quantitatively against the Chinese. That's just a reality. It is also, located so close to the mainland that it's going to be under very severe missile threats. And so you can have the best aircraft in the world, but you need to be able to get those aircraft up off the runways. And even with hardened shelters, which Taiwan has some of these, I don't really see how these fighters are going to be useful, particularly early in a conflict when China has the capacity to essentially crater runways every 4-8 hours for days, weeks at a time.
So given that, then, what should Taiwan's military be buying, or what does it need to do in order to make sure that it can have a robust defense against China?
And when I look at Taiwan's situation, it really needs to be able to contest the airspace. So it can't rely on fighters alone to try to provide some kind of air superiority bubble over Taiwan. In fact, that's going to be really difficult to do just because of the number of Chinese aircraft and, trying to get all these aircraft in the air in wartime conditions. What it really needs is to be able to contest that airspace so China doesn't have air superiority over Taiwan. And that requires largely a different kind of air force than one that is organized primarily around small number of high-end fighter aircraft. It needs large numbers of drones of all different types and ranges. It needs lots of anti-air missiles. And the question Taiwan should really ask itself is, for every dollar that it might spend on a new fighter aircraft, is that dollar better off being spent on a small number of cheap things?
That was Kelly Grieco, a security analyst with the Stimson Center in Washington, D.C. The population of Taipei is going down and could soon fall below 2.5 million. Taiwan's capital has seen an outflow of residents since the beginning of the year. If the trend continues, the population could fall below 2.5 million by October or even the end of September. High housing costs are believed to be pushing young people in particular out of the city.
可以看得到蛋白区，比如说新北、桃园、基隆的这些区域，提供了房价相对比较低，而且比较好的选择。那这也促使很多的北市市民他往外去做移动，因为整个大众运输系统的便利，所以加速了这样的一个情况。
Southern Taiwan is losing its coasts. Despite efforts to save Taiwan's shoreline, experts say it may not be enough in the face of Mother Nature. Over the past few months, Zhengwen Reservoir, Taiwan's largest, has released 500 million tons of water. When the water is released, small amounts of silt flow through the reservoir and out towards the coast, replenishing sand deposits on the shore. It's a small relief for southern Taiwan, which is trying to save its coasts. Shorelines in the area are receding.
海岸侵蚀、海岸退缩的速度、海底掏刷的速度。 远大过于我们人为所补充的速度。
But endlessly releasing water from Zhengwen Reservoir is not a viable solution to southern Taiwan's eroding coasts.
曾文溪的泄洪确实有疏沙了那么一点，好，对人角度来讲也许是多了，沙子没有带来多少，但是带来了大量的垃圾。
Officials in the area regularly need to bring in sand to artificially replenish deposits here. Local governments keep a reserve budget dedicated to saving the country's coasts, but in the face of Mother Nature's power, human beings can only do so much. Andy Xue and Leslie Liao for TaiwanPlus. Families and friends are gathering across Taiwan for Mid-Autumn Festival barbecues, but a growing number of senior citizens living by themselves are likely to be alone on this day. The problem is that different government agencies can't agree on how many are out there living alone, making it difficult to provide for their welfare. John Van Trieste has the story.
On the eve of the Mid-Autumn Festival, Ms. Yang leads her walking club for senior citizens in a series of exercises. Many here are among the tens of thousands of older Taiwanese adults who are known to live alone. As the country's population ages, the number of these seniors living by themselves grows, and it's become a social problem, as some may die in their home without anyone noticing for some time. Ms. Yang keeps tabs on her club members to make sure this doesn't happen to them.
如果说有5-6天没来的话，我们就会打电话去问，你到底是怎么事了，怎么没来？
But not all have someone like Ms. Yang looking out for them. and the scope of the problem is hard to gauge. Different government agencies have different estimates of how many older adults are out there by themselves. The Health Ministry says there are about 390,000, but the Interior Ministry says around 670,000. Getting a handle on the local situation is something even some local community leaders have trouble with.
有的会打电话来，我们关心。我们你看是，他会有一点时间去访查我们邻里的毒剂场。
The Health Ministry says its approach gives a more accurate picture based on what it calls real-world data rather than official household registries. Still, it encourages local officials to make their own assessments.
最近2年，我们也一直在要求地方政府，不管是透过户籍的资料，透过社区邻里，把这些实际上独居的长辈能够有更清楚的掌握。
Taiwan has close to 5,000 centers prepared to help with senior citizens' welfare, but making sure they're set up where they're needed and that those who need help actually get it can still be a challenge. Ethan Pan and John Van Trieste for TaiwanPlus.
There's more to Mid-Autumn Festival than admiring the moon, eating mooncakes, and having a barbecue. Many in Taiwan also celebrate the love god on this day. Our reporter Sandy Chi takes us to a garden in Taipei to check out the festivities.
A grand welcome to the love god, locally known as Liao. This is an annual celebration of the deity's birthday, which coincides with the Mid-Autumn Festival in Taiwan on the 15th day of the 8th lunar month. For 18 years, organizers have hosted birthday festivities at the Lin family mansion and garden. Alongside the celebrations, the event offers single people a chance to find true love.
是有缘人，我们才能真心疼惜。有的人不是啊，搞点气看买下的，那没心交来的朋友就不稳定啊。既然如果是跟你有心有意，大家在一起，就是要长长久久。
Of all those at the event, one couple stands out the most. Their purpose for visiting is unique among the guests. They are not here to search for love, but to thank the love god for granting them the chance to have their very own happily ever after.
The God is very important for us because he's from Germany and I'm here in Taiwanese, and sometimes we will argue, but we pray to the love God and then we get more happiness and fortune. So we're married now. Yeah.
And today the couple is back not only to thank the love god, but also pray for something else.
Because it's the love God's birthday, so we are here to celebrate together, and then also I pray to him, to the God again, and hopefully we can have a child.
With their first prayer answered, their hopes are high for the second.
拜拜的时候，自己的名字、年龄、住址讲清楚，说明白。Handsome boy, do you know？ 要说清楚，要不然会搞丑啊。
Witnessing the matchmaking power of the love god, many here are eager to find their true love. So ma'am, can you tell me, why are you here and what kind of partner are you looking for?
来这里就是参加，就是刚好中秋节，然后有这次的月老活动，想说来看看能不能帮忙找到另一半的理想中的正缘。我想要的对象就是工作稳定，然后不要长得太丑就好了。
With hearts full of hope, those seeking love gather to celebrate the love god's birthday, wishing for blessings of love and perhaps the promise of a romantic beginning. Chrisma, Millie Hughes, and Sandy Chi for TaiwanPlus.
And we'd like to thank you for watching What's Up Taiwan. You can visit the TaiwanPlus website or follow our social media for more stories from Taiwan and around the world. Finally, we take you to Mexico for its Independence Day celebrations. Happy Mid-Autumn Festival, everyone. I'm Liao. Take care and see you next time.